Welcome to the Bridge Podcast. Joining us today are two new leaders serving Rialto USD, Dr. Jon Black, Associate Superintendent of Education Services, and Dr. Denise Ellis, Associate Superintendent of Human Resources. Today's conversation gives us the opportunity to get to know their roles, their leadership journeys, and the experiences that shape the work they do in service of students and staff. Let's get started.
I am so excited because both of you are new in your leadership positions for the district, but more excitingly, you have a little background in Rialto. You grew up for a little while in Rialto, Dr. Black.
I did.
And of course, Dr. Ellis, you taught in Rialto for a while.
Yes, I started my career here.
So I want to start with Dr. Jon Black. I know that you just started our new school year in the Rialto Unified School District. Tell me some of your goals and tell me some of the experiences that you bring to our USD.
All right, I'll start with the experiences. So I have experience in TK-12. I taught high school. I was an assistant principal at the middle school level. Then I was a principal at the elementary level and then middle school. And then I also taught at Cal State San Bernardino in the College of Education. And I was a director for college and career readiness and secondary education. So all the levels.
And excellent. And when you were a principal and middle school principal, elementary, was it local in the Inland Empire?
When I was principal, that was in Moreno Valley Unified, Butterfield Elementary and Mountain View Middle School.
Oh, how cool. So very local.
Very local.
Excellent, excellent. And Dr. Ellis, you also have some ties in Rialto Unified School District. And what brought you back?
I do, yes. I started my career here as an emergency subject teacher. And so that was in 1996. And I had a great foundation here. And then I moved out to the desert. And so I taught kindergarten through 5th grade. I became an assistant principal and a principal out in the desert. And then I started moving into administration. So I'm at the district level. I ended up being in HR, and this position came available. And it was a great opportunity to give back to where I started. And I'm excited to be here at this point in my career.
Dr. Black, what are some of your key ideas in ed services? Where do you see you want to see some strength? Where do you see that, because we have so many talented leaders all throughout the RUSD?
So most people think my answer is going to come right to academics, and it's actually not. It's really most important, the social emotional learning, because if our students feel like they belong in their classroom and on their school campus, they're going to do better academically. They're going to come to school, which will help our chronic absenteeism. They're not going to get in as much trouble, which will help our restorative goals, such as our suspension. So it's really about making sure that our students feel welcome, and not just our students, their families, because the more families are involved in their child's education, the better their child will typically do.
Thank you, Dr. Black. So, Dr. Ellis, I know that you work hand in hand, obviously, with Ed Services, because he is manning a department that is very, very large with principals, assistant principals, administrators, directors, coordinators. But you also have the awesome responsibility of taking personnel and turning it into human resources, which he touched base on. Yes. The human heart, the person, get to know the person before you're telling them to take the task at hand. So leading almost 3,000 employees in the district, the largest employer in the city. Welcome. How are we doing all that?
Thank you. So my focus is really going to be on retention of our staff, because I think it's important that our staff really feel this is a great place to work. They're proud to work here. They're proud of the work that we're doing. And my role is to support educational services in their goals. And how do I do that is through the people that we work with here. So making sure that people feel supported. It's a little bit different being human resources. We've been doing a lot of work around what that means and how we show that, not just say it, but really that we do care and that we are here to support, and that's our role.
Excellent. Now, Dr. Black, talk a little bit about your reception coming into the district. I know that you are also in charge of you have the principals meeting once a month. You are also at school sites visiting campuses and so forth. And I know both of you had a chance to go to the grand opening of the majestic flagship Eisenhower High School, probably the best one of three in the Inland Empire. How has your reception been at Rialto Unified so far?
Reception has been fantastic. I'm about a month and a half in, and I've been able to get to all the different district buildings, all of our school sites, meet with a lot of our administrators, and getting on those school campuses is the best part of my job. My job entails a lot of meetings, as Dr. Ellis would be able to echo, but the best part is getting into classrooms and seeing what teachers and students are doing. And in this first 2 weeks of school, that's been the most fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we say this a lot, also because all three of us have a unique tie to Rialto. No matter where we worked or where we slept, Rialto was always a part of us, right? And so I think it's really important to also mention that teacher aspect. The magic happens in the classroom with the students. And at every level, whenever I tell my team, whenever we're having a bad day or a challenging day, go inside of a classroom, especially kindergarten classrooms, and your life just changes immediately, because those kids are just, they're so full of love and energy, and they want to learn so bad, and so you feel you're in a happy place. Same with you. I would like to ask you, Dr. Ellis, how did you feel with your first 2 weeks at Rialto Unified School District? Did you see some changes you wanted to implement immediately, or are you on the same stance as the philosophy as Dr. Black, whereas you want to kind of go for the heart piece, because not everything is broken here, contrary to popular belief, right?
Oh, for sure. There's a lot of great things happening here. It's an exciting place to be, and just feeling welcome here. In my first couple of weeks, would you say a month and a half? I'm a month and a half plus 4 days in. But it's been really great for me. The exciting part is we are going to be serving and supporting our induction teachers. And we had big welcomes for them, big induction welcome for our new teachers, our year 1 and 2.
Can you explain to the crowd what an induction teacher
Sure.
academy
So
is?
induction is the teachers who just have their credential and they're in their first or second year of clearing their preliminary credential. We also hire intern teachers. So they are new to the program. They are very new to experiencing teaching. And so we are going to be supporting them this year. We were able to offer a contract during one of our substitute teacher trainings to a teacher that was sitting there in our substitutes. So the progression that we have in our grow our own type of program that we have here in Rialto is really amazing, and that's the exciting part for me, is to be able to offer those contracts and see the teachers in their classroom for the first time. It's just feeling like no other, so that's exciting for me.
And you know what's exciting for me, and I think I should tell you both publicly, because being here for 20 years, you see people and you kind of study situations, and you're going inside meetings, and there's always a positive response that comes back. And so that's it's an infectious thing, right? So you go into a meeting, oh, did you meet Dr. Ellis? She's great. She's talking about this. So I know you might think it's a honeymoon stage, but it's not. It's who you are personally. And both of you have put in the heart piece before the work.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying is the philosophy is the heart and the social. Does that have a lot to do with COVID? Does it have a lot to do with, because, and I'm not trying to say you're not good, kind people, but we're looking at people working differently. We're looking at students working differently. We have a rhythm that's different, from 3 years ago. Can you touch base on that a little bit?
Sure. So my educational philosophy, my leadership philosophy comes down to a sentence that's attributed to many different people, so I'm not sure where it really came from. But people don't care what you know until they know that you care. And as a teacher, I always wanted to make sure my students knew that I cared about them as students, as people, not just a number. And then as I moved into leadership, it's the same philosophy with adults. And so that goes back to that idea of the social emotional learning. People need to feel like you care about them, that you're here to build their capacity, that you're here to add value to them. And yes, after COVID, that was a bigger deal. It's always been a big deal, but after COVID, it has been a much bigger deal. Districts across California have seen chronic absenteeism way higher than it was previously. And that's because we were out of school for a year and a half in many districts. We were still holding school, but it wasn't on our school campuses. And so, yeah, making students feel like that building is a place where they belong has been much more important, not harder, but much more important since COVID.
Wonderful. I want to switch the script a little bit and talk a little bit about both of you personally, because we did start with the heart piece. So tell us a little bit about yourself and some of your hobbies.
Okay, some of my hobbies. I am I was to say outdoor person. I like doing things outdoors. The water, especially. I was a lifeguard and I was, a swimmer in school. So anything with the water, I'm attracted to. Other than that, I do scrapbooking and things like that for hobbies.
That's to de-stress.
Yes, something else to keep your mind busy on that. So those are probably my hobbies I do outside of work.
Excellent. And you have been in public education for how long?
A few years.
Oh, okay.
About 32.
I mean, you've worked, yeah.
Yes, about 32.
Okay.
I started in preschool.
Okay.
And then I taught in elementary. Most of my education has been in elementary K through 5. But I also have experience teaching in the California State San Bernardino in the college system, and UMass Global as well. So I teach research classes. I teach personnel as well. So that's another aspect of mine that I like to do. I also teach for the County Office of Education, so I teach preliminary credentialed teachers and things like that.
Excellent. I feel like I'm sitting here with two professors now that are behaving myself. And what about you, Dr. Black? Talk a little bit about yourself as well.
Sure. So talking about myself, I have to start with my family. I've been married for 30 years. I have a daughter who's 23 and a son who will be 19 in November. We just dropped him off to start at Cal State Long Beach.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
they're sharing an apartment together. And then in terms of hobbies, cycling is my number one. I ride my bike every morning before work. On the weekends, I do a lot more mileage. This past Saturday, I just did a 60-mile ride along the LA beaches. And then I'm a big foodie. That's my other big hobby, is finding restaurants and going and eating.
Wow, excellent. Can't blame you for any of those things. That's great. So you love to eat, but you also burn it off by cycling.
Yep.
Excellent. So I do want to ask you, who are your mentors in your lives?
Oh, I would say my mentor would be my grandmother. She was a teacher, and so that's where I have a love for teaching. I thought I was playing school in summer, but I think she was actually doing summer school with me. But that's where I really developed a love of teaching, and now I wanted to be a teacher my whole life.
Because of your grandma?
Because of my grandmother, yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Florence Morgan.
Okay, wonderful. What about you, Dr. Black?
Hey, I really appreciate this question. Anytime I get to mention Mrs. Snow, my 8th grade teacher, I
Mrs.
relish
Snow,
that
okay.
opportunity. My parents divorced when I was in 6th grade, and there was a long period of time where I was kind of lost. And I've known since 8th grade, because of Mrs. Snow, she was my U.S. history teacher, that I was going to teach history. And so going to community college and then going to Cal State, I knew why I was going. And so I want to be Mrs. Snow to everyone else.
Excellent classroom teacher. There we go. Well, I want to thank both of you. Of course, the leader of our human resources and leader of our ed services. That you have enormous responsibilities, but we are so excited that you have joined the Rialto Unified School District team. We have so much expectations from you, but we know that you're already exceeding them by your demeanor, by your kindness, and really through your knowledge. So I want to thank you both for being here. And we would love to have you come back with maybe some teachers and some employees and some new teachers, and we can talk a little bit about the state of education in our next Bridge podcast, if that's good.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to Rialto.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for joining us. I'm Saida Joffrey. We'll see you next time on the Bridge podcast.